trabajé 18 años con la Compañía de Jesús, con los jesuitas, y me dieron la oportunidad de venir a dirigir esto, pero con un enfoque autosostenible, y que es básicamente la promoción de la cultura maya, de la identidad, la recuperación de la identidad de los pueblos originarios de la cultura maya, y también el tema de la espiritualidad maya, y fortaleciendo también el idioma materno, que acá en la región es, el idioma maya es cachiquel. Entonces, dentro del currículo lleva una clase exclusiva de cachiquel. Como cuando yo vine se atendían solo 70 estudiantes. Ahora hemos llegado a tener 178 estudiantes en promedio anualmente, como atención al 60% de mujeres. Y dentro de esto es porque respetamos el uso de su traje. Hay centros, bueno, hay una ley que lo prohíbe, pero hay centros acá en San Lucas que no permiten que las señoritas lleven su traje.
Basically, Guadalupe asked, like, what is his motivation for, like, doing what he does. And just, like, the pay isn't ideal, but really, like, kind of like Dr. Machu was saying, is that, like, in Guatemala, there's, like, a lot of wealth and a lot of beauty, but that the society itself is structured so that people don't develop as people, that they don't really have a voice and they can't speak. And that really, like, what he believes that the only way forward, like the only road forward, is for the education of the youth and like with a fully integrated education.
So overall, I really felt like our teaching experience was a mutually enjoyable experience for both us and the kids. Like you could tell that both of us got like a lot out of it. I led an activity with one of my friends that was a singing activity. So we did some vocal exercises, played some fun games. We sang songs for them, they sang songs for us. And it was really interesting to see that like their whole social structure really wasn't that much different than you would expect in the US. They're the rebellious punks. They're kids who just like, you know, want to sit quietly, not be noticed. They're kids who are, you know, determined to become your best friend because you're old and cool. So it was really exciting to see that. But overall, there was just a real desire for them to show that they knew about our culture and wanted to learn, and for them to show us their culture. So it wasn't necessarily one of those experiences where like we got more out of it than they did, but it was evident that like we got to see a part of their culture and they got a window into ours, and just because of that, that's something you really don't see every day, and it's something I was really glad I was able to be a part of.
Que te de olvidar cuánto has querido, yo te supe dar, solo y herido, así me dejas, sabiendo que mañana irás con otro al altar. Llorarás, llorarás por tu capricho, si yo sé que es a mí a quien quieres, no podrás ser feliz con ningún otro, pues conmigo conociste el amor. Internacionales, conejos. Te he prometido que te de olvidar cuánto has querido, yo te supe dar, solo y herido, así me dejas, sabiendo que mañana irás con otro al altar. Llorarás, llorarás por tu capricho, si a ni a quien quieres. No podrás ser feliz con ningún otro, pues conmigo conociste el amor, sí, el amor, sí, el amor.
Bueno, yo creo que vale la pena trabajar porque este país sea un país próspero, un país que salga adelante, un país donde la gente retoma su vida después de larguísimos conflictos armados y que podamos dejar un mejor mundo para nuestras generaciones. O sea, yo creo que todos los humanos tenemos que tener esa convicción y tenemos esa convicción por Guatemala. Y no querer escribir el futuro porque no está en nuestras manos. Lo que podemos hacer es preparar más ideas, más jóvenes, más liderazgo, liderazgos que nos tienen que sustituir definitivamente en otras épocas de nuestra vida. En todo lo que hacemos con ese espíritu. Recuperar la memoria histórica de las víctimas del conflicto armado fue nuestra meta en los últimos 20 años y creo que lo hemos logrado en buena medida y vamos a continuar. Tratar de que este país se terminen los conflictos armados, pues eso lo hicimos, formalmente no hay guerrilla, pero sí que hay todavía mucha represión. Entonces todavía falta que el sistema legal funcione y nosotros hemos ganado juicios y eso demuestra que no solo criticamos sino hacemos lo que creemos que se tiene que hacer. Fortalecer las instituciones del Estado, o sea, porque aquí las mafias corporativas, la represión va a continuar si nosotros no fortalecemos el Estado. Crear más conciencia ciudadana, porque también los ciudadanos no tienen conciencia. Van a votar porque les regalaron un poco de arroz. Los escándalos que tiene el presidente, que está usando dinero público para su campaña electoral, sus bolsas solidarias, sus bolsas seguras, así se llama, regalan una bolsa así con el dinero del Estado y con las fotografías de sus candidatos. Entonces prácticamente el abuso, la intolerancia es uno de los mecanismos fuertes que hay en el país y contra eso tenemos que luchar. Ahora yo sí creo que Guatemala es un país rico, tiene todo lo que tiene, al menos que lo vayamos a destruir en poco tiempo, porque igual ahora tiene fauna, tiene flora, tiene cerros, sería un gran país turístico, sería un gran país donde la agricultura es vital para la vida de la gente en el planeta y en la nuestra, ¿verdad? Entonces yo veo Guatemala como nuestro querido país por lo que vale la pena trabajar, por lo que vale la pena luchar y vamos a luchar por este país.
We had the opportunity of meeting Rigoberta Menchú, who recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, and she was able to talk to us a little bit about her own experiences here in Guatemala and kind of leading up to the reason why she received her award. But the thing is, she focused a lot on the justice that is being served to the people who suffered so much as a result of the civil wars in Guatemala. And just hearing her talk first-handedly about her own experiences and why she's so passionate about what she does and why she really wants to bring forth that justice. It was really inspiring to hear it from her. This sweet-looking woman who was just so welcoming, welcomed us into her own home, served us coffee. Like, it was just so beautiful to have her talk about how proud she is of her country, all the beauty that the culture, the Mayan culture has, and just how people don't see that or tend to overlook that beauty because of institutionalized racism within the country that tends to segregate indigenous culture. And just hearing her was amazing. It was just beyond words. It was an opportunity that many of us would not have been able to have had it not been for this AV trip. And just
Well, yesterday we went to the ruins, and that was really great to see. Along the way, we drove by some little towns with people living, and they're really high up in the mountains, so it's kind of interesting because we were able to see like a little snippet of what their daily life is, because you saw people like running their own shops in their houses, or selling things on the side, or getting on the bus to go to work, and so it definitely made me think about like what their daily life is, and like how like they're able to get by, and they seem so still like happy, because I saw people like with their kids and with their family and their wives and their husbands, and they seem like so happy. But when you think about it, they probably like, I'm like, they don't care like if they have Wi-Fi, they don't care if they have cell service. What they care about is like they go about their daily life, they go to work and they do their thing, and they're with their family, and like that's what matters most, which I think was really cool to see, because you know that like that's not how like we live in America, where every little thing like matters. Like if, because like let's say my phone dies, it's a huge deal, but for them like all that matters is being with one another and doing their daily life and going to their work and like putting food on the table. Like that's what matters to them. So that was definitely really interesting to see. Part of our program is like post-trip service. So what are maybe his ideas of what we can do to contribute when we go back to LMU, whether that's like education or something that we can set up? Like what are his ideas and thoughts on our post-trip action?
But well, he started for saying that one thing we can do to help them is to spread the word about them, and like to talk how we had a wonderful time here, so that more people will want to come next year, so that they can like keep like getting some funds from that, because it's really helpful for them. And then he said we can also spread the word and raise awareness about Guatemala in general, about all that happens here, especially the corruption of government. Because he's talked to other people in the U.S. that he doesn't think people like the people that live in the U.S. are bad persons or whatever. He thinks the problem is like with multinational corporations, all that sort of things, that people like those corporations come to countries like this and they buy
officials.
They buy the people in the government, they buy their interest with money. And for example, what's happening now, the minery. They're like destroying mountains, destroying rivers, smuggling the gold and the silver. They're not paying taxes for it. They're not. The workers are also underpaid. It's probably very dangerous for them. So, yeah, basically like raise awareness about that. So like if that didn't happen, the country could develop like way more, because they're taking a lot from them in a very they're taking advantage of their needs, because they need works and they have this kind of wealth, but they do these multinationals are buying the government and doing so that they let them do in a very wrong way.